Good morning, everybody. Jim Feist and Hank Goldberg here in Las Vegas. Hank, congratulations on a good night last night.
Yeah, let's see what happens tonight. It'll be interesting to see if Golden State bounces back strong. They normally do. Those two games they played down there after losses, they routed Utah, so we'll see if they do that again. But I thought that, I'll tell you, Game 7 is going to be, I'm looking forward to that between Denver and San Antonio. That's a good series.
Yeah.
I mean, that actually has been a very good series.
It has, and there's a lot of drama in that game. That's you got a franchise that's had a lot of success over the years against one that, is kind of just up and coming. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle that.
Yep. I think that coach has a lot on the line for Denver. I've said that before. The Yankees got an outfielder from Cleveland who's pretty decent. They picked him up yesterday, so they're making some moves. They finally got beat by the Angels yesterday. They gave up a lot of runs, but they've had a pretty good trip so far. And Seattle's been hot. They're playing pretty well out west.
Yes, Seattle scored a lot of runs, hitting a lot of home runs. They've been good.
Yep.
And they're 17-11 on the season, 19-7 over to under, 19 over 7 unders. They do score runs, 6.3 runs per game. That's one of the highest ones in the league. Matter of fact, it actually, I think, is the highest one in the league. So it is. They've been knocking the ball. We've got some good series coming up in the second round. It's going to be exciting.
Yep.
You got Milwaukee and Boston, Philly, Toronto, all good stuff. And then Houston, of course, is waiting to take on the Warriors. That's going to be interesting. This Warrior team, with the switching on and off, I don't know if that's going to come back to haunt them.
I don't think it's going to haunt them. I think, I don't know what's going on with Durant. The story now is that he's selling his house. San Francisco, Oakland area, some house, by the way.
I'm sure.
I saw pictures of it. But the question is, does that mean he's leaving? But I think Golden State's going to be okay. I'm more concerned about what I've seen out of Houston and the erratic play of Harden. He's been turning the ball over a lot. His defense is not very good, and they figured out a way to stop him from going to the rim. They've been blocking a lot of his shots going that direction. One thing that he does effectively going to the rim is dishing the ball off, and I think Golden State's going to see that. They've got some guys who can defend that. I like Golden State a lot in that series. I just don't see them losing to that team. I think Houston's got some problems, more problems than Golden State has.
How about in the East? What do you see out of the East? There's some real competitive teams out there.
I think I see a tough series between Milwaukee and Boston. I think Boston's real good right now. They've got a lot of guys who can play. They're pretty healthy. And they got guys like Tatum, who's very good right now. They've got 4 or 5 guys who can score. It's not just it's not just about Kyrie. And I think that gives Milwaukee a battle. I think it's a very competitive series. I think it's going to go. It's probably going to be 6 or 7 games. And Milwaukee's right now playing very well. but they're coming out of, they played Detroit, and that didn't prove anything.
No.
The other series, Philadelphia, I think is tough for a lot of reasons. And Embiid seems to be okay. And Simmons and Redick are very good clutch shooters. Philadelphia is, I think, going to go on.
You think Philadelphia's going to take Toronto down?
Pardon me?
You think Philadelphia has the edge over Toronto?
I think Toronto, historically, does not play well this time of year. But right now, they've got a couple of guys who are playing very well. I think Philadelphia has a little more balance.
Yeah, they're two good series on the East Coast. That's exciting. Anything else that today that?
Well, the draft. Everybody's ripping the Giants for taking Jones. I watched Jones play a lot for Duke, and I thought he was a top prospect coming out. And he was rated as the number 2 quarterback by a lot of guys who know more about this than I do. But he's, he had good coaching. Peyton Manning's been working with him. I disagree with the people who say that he can't throw the deep ball accurately. I think he's got a lot of awareness. He's got mobility. He's very smart. And, he want to help Duke win a lot of games. All the wise guys say, well, Wake Forest beat them 59-7. That happens in college football. Everybody's ripping the Giants for drafting him, and yet going into the draft, everybody knew the Giants were going to take a quarterback they could develop under Eli, and they think this is the guy. And, Eli's brother probably recommended him strongly. Cutcliffe, his coach at Duke, is a very good coach who has a long history of developing quarterbacks, including Peyton Manning. And let's not be so fast to rip that pick. I think this guy is a very good developmental player. I've been watching him for 2 years now, and I watched him crush the University of Miami and run up, around 50 points against them. So I'm not one who's going to just say this is a terrible pick. The Raiders picked 3 guys. They got a heck of a running back out of Alabama. That guy is an all-purpose back. He's very tough, very strong. He can do everything. He's a good pass receiver and he's a very tough runner. The first pick, people are scratching their heads about. Nobody knows much. Well, he comes out of a good program. But there were a lot of good outside rushers available at that spot, and that's not what they went for.
Yeah, that first pick made me scratch my head too, but going back to the Giants, I have no criticism of what the Giants did. They needed to draft a quarterback, and the kid looks like he has talent, and I agree with you 100%. I have no criticism of that pick at all.
We're a week away from the Kentucky Derby. I spoke with Elliot Walden today. Elliot Walden runs Windstar. They have a horse called Improbable. And Improbable was excellent as a 3-year-old. Had a big win over at Churchill. He didn't run for 3 months and came back, and he had the lead in the Rebel, and he got beat by a horse who came up the inside and beat him. And then in the Arkansas Derby, he lost to a horse who's now favored to win this race off that race. He was running the slop. But he freaked out in the gate before the race. And if you look at the footage of that, which I'm sure is going to be shown, I know it's going to be shown on ESPN on Tuesday, because I'm going to show it. But anyway, he had a terrible experience in the gate. And Elliot told me they're going to put blinkers on him, and that they've been working and giving him gate experience, and he worked out, and they sent him in the gate yesterday, and he was fine. The other criticism I saw of him was in the forum, somebody had written that he had distance limitations because of his breeding on the male side. He's by City Zip. And I asked Elliot about that. Elliot's always been very honest with me over the years. He's probably as good a guy as there is in selecting horses, breeding horses. He's the man. And he told me that City Zip story, City Zip has bred a lot of his horses. He said there's no limitations for this horse. This horse can run a distance. The one thing is that they're putting blinkers on him. He said that's a big factor because he throws his head a little bit, and that's the cost in the race in the Rebel. He lost his focus, and the blinkers will help. And that's a big factor. This horse has never run a bad race, and I think he's a big factor in this race. He's got a stalking type of stalking type, and he's a big factor in this race. And Elliot agrees with me that only one of a half dozen horses can win this race. But this horse is definitely a big factor. And if he gets a good stalking trip, he's going to be there during the stretch run. And I think he can beat the horse that beat him in the Arkansas Derby, his favorite. And I think he'll probably be 6-1. It's not a bad price.
No, if you can get a price out of a race like that, that's what you look for, especially when you have a lot of horses that are competitive. That's great.
And the information I got from Elliot, I think, is very good, very useful.
Very good. Good stuff. Thank you. Well, Hank...
By the way, he's not my number one pick in the race. I still like the Mott horse who won the Wood. He's about 9 or 10-1 right now. And I've got a horse who's 20-1 who I think can hit the board. I talked to a friend of mine who recruits for Dubai, who told me that he talked to the trainer of the horse who won the Dubai race. And he said the horse is training very well. He said, don't leave him out underneath. I don't like the horse to win, but I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, I'm looking for a big payday, big super, big try, big boxes on the exactas. I think there's a lot of potential. And I think you'll be there. And Hank's horses will be up at jimfeist.com along with his basketball and baseball. And Hank, you have a great weekend. Feel good. Recover from those 2 teeth being out. I'm glad you had a good meal.
I've already recovered. This guy did his surgery. It's fantastic. I've graduated from pudding to real food last night, and it came down fine. So, and I'm following the instructions, doing a little gargling with salt water. And I think I'll be back into steaks in the next couple of days.
All right. That's your menu for the weekend. Get yourself a good steak.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not anxious to test that yet. But I'll be at least up to chicken. But I'll tell you something. I have not had any pain. This guy is amazing. If anybody needs any dental surgery, I'd be happy to recommend Dr. Gibson in Nevada. Travel is worth it.
Okay, well, there's a name. He's out there. He got some free marketing, and if anybody needs a good dentist, Dr. Gibson. Thanks, Hank. We'll talk again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Lots of winners, and feel good.
Okay, and you too. Hey, Jim?
Hold on a sec.